Okay, Death Before Dishonor. I have seen it. And I'll tell you this. It was long. 4 hours. With 0 Hour. I did see 0 Hour. I'm not going to talk much about 0 Hour. I will say what was good and basic. But I'm going to make this clear. This was a long ass show. But it was good. But there's only 2 matches that really did it for me. Well, maybe 3. 3 matches that really did it for me. 3. Out of 11 matches, 3 did it for me. Doesn't mean the rest of the matches are bad. I want to make this clear. The matches were good. The majority of the matches were good. But there was only 3 I really liked. Only cared the most about. But I'm going to tell you what I saw and how it was. So, on 0 Hour, we got 4 matches. The first match, I didn't recognize Tracy Williams, but I did recognize Josh Woods. And I wasn't surprised he won because I think Tracy Williams' first time has been back. And it was a pure match. And supposedly as they were explaining it, and I got to say this about Ian. You guys, tell me. When you saw the opening right before that first match, and he's going, didn't he look like a freak with Copeland? I'm not against Ian. But damn, that smile made him look so artificial, like he wanted to try and kill you. Like, he shouldn't have smiled that long, waiting for the camera to switch. He should have just simply grinned or smiled and then say something. But that smile, that was freaky. Next match. And this was the best match on the... Well, should I say that? I mean... Yeah. I think it was the best match. And this was Action Andretti and Dante, not Dante brothers, Darius brother. Dante's still out with a broken leg. Or ankle, broken ankle. Against the Workhorsemen. The one spot there, and understand, I'm not a spot guy. But the one spot that I know people would talk about was when Action Andretti was up against Drake. They're going back and forth on the ropes. Drake decided that he's going to try and backdrop him. But instead of doing that, Andretti jumped onto his back and did a backflip straight off of him. I have seen things like that before, but not with such a large man. Let's make this clear. When it comes to Drake, he's a pretty big guy. And seeing him do an actual, Hurricane Rana off the top turn rope at his size is great to see. But seeing a Action Andretti doing a backflip, and literally they were almost bumping heads. That's how close Action was to him because he couldn't get distance. He could only go straight up. He didn't go straight up and go back. He went straight up and straight down as he flipped. So they literally were rubbing heads. That's how close it was. Or at least if he wasn't rubbing against Drake's head, he was rubbing against Drake's shoulder. Of course, Action Andretti and Darius was going to win. There was no way they weren't because they're more well established and they're being seen more. So there you go. Hirsch versus someone I did see before, and that was on MLW a while ago, and that's Tiffany. What is her name? Tiffany Adore. I think Adore, not Allure. Adore. Tiffany Adore. I did see her before. She's a former military soldier. She's working with the infantry. I'll tell you this. It wasn't one of the greatest matches I've seen Hirsch in. And I only seen Tiffany maybe once. So I can't say she's great or not. The match I saw was with Taya Valkyrie. That was that one match I saw with. So, or was it the second match? No, she did have 2 matches. I did see 2 matches. One of them was with somebody else. I don't recognize her. She was like the first time in MLW. And then Taya. She did better with Taya than the other woman. But here, it was not a bad match, but I'm not surprised Hirsch won and then Hirsch beat the crap out of her afterward. And Sky Blue saves her. So I don't know. Now, I'm sure people are going to say Shane Taylor and A.R. Fox was the best match on the... And look, I'm not against A.R. Fox. He's going up against Orange Cassidy. I believe he'll be going up against Orange Cassidy for the international title this Wednesday. I believe that I'm right, I think. And Shane Taylor, I've seen him work with Keith Lee. He seems to be fine. They showed him on Dynamite. And I think he was on Dynamite once and here in ROH. So it's fine, but I'm sorry. The way the tag match went compared to this wasn't better. I'm sorry. It wasn't. Not saying I didn't think AR Fox was a good wrestler and did that forward Hilo. Not saying that. But I do believe the tag match was better. Now, main card. We got, and this is going to be possibly controversial if people care about Commander more than Gravity. I'm going to tell you this. You got a match of Commander who's been seen on the main title. I don't want to sound like I hate Commander. I don't. It's just he has one major flaw that he needs to straighten out. He's worked with Chris Jericho. He's already worked with several others. He's not a bad wrestler, but he has the major problem of always doing setups before he has to do all his moves. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that he shouldn't set up because, dude, you don't want to hurt yourself or your partner. But when you got to set up so much, you should cut that out and try something else that doesn't require so much setup because it cuts the immersion. Guys, if you don't understand about what immersion is in pro wrestling, seeing someone do their bit, do their spot, yes, is important. And I'm going for high-flying wrestlers. You want to be as fluid as possible. Of course, you got to do some level of setup that's at least a second or two. But when you go to 2, 3, 4 seconds, 5 seconds to do a setup, it's always good because you can lose people that way. And Commander has that major issue. Now you look at, and he doesn't really have a very strong character. But then you look at Gravity, who's Bandito's brother, younger brother. That boy's got something. He basically is dressing like a spaceman, acting like a spaceman who just came off the moon, and he's got character. On top of that, he is a high flyer that does not have to do heavy pauses. Whatever moves he's doing, which are mostly very short, not very large type of spots. And understand, I'm not a spot guy. I'm just telling you what it is. You got one person who's a very elaborate spot guy who tries to make his setup so elaborate, well, to make the payoff so elaborate, but the spot takes time. And then you got someone who does more short, very explosive spots. Not saying they're great, not saying they're not great. It's just much shorter. He's not taking time to do the setups. And then it doesn't take away from the match flow because a lot of times when you do holds, if you're doing setups, when you are doing the wrestling itself, it takes away from the wrestling. As spectacular many people would say Commander has been, if I was a heavy spot guy, I would not like Commander. Because, simply put, Commander takes way too long. He is not Rey Fenix. Let's make it clear. If you put Rey Fenix against Commander, he would lose every time. Not just because they will book him that way. It's because Rey Fenix, next to being a much more seasoned veteran, he does not need setup the majority of the time. Yes, he takes a second or two to get set up. But he doesn't take 4 or 5 seconds to get it done. He doesn't go like this. Rey will go, and then he goes. He's more talented than a Commander is. And then you see Gravity, who's not only doing much shorter spots and still doing good wrestling, he's got character. Every time when he didn't get caught, he goes like this. He's playing into the spaceman thing, which that's what you want. You want someone who can entertain the crowd or piss off the crowd. And that's what he did. He won the match. Not surprised. It's Bandito's brother. There's no way. In his debut match, there was no way he was going to job here. But when you really see this, I just care more about Gravity than about Commander. And I don't hate him. It's just he's got that major issue where he really needs to retool his work. He needs to find moves that he doesn't need to do such setup that the commentators have to say, oh, he's got to get himself a focus. A commentator doesn't need to cover for your ass. I'm sorry. If your moves are that time and intensive to get set up, they're not worth it all the time. Yes, in a high profile match, yes. If this was for the TV title, I can understand you want to do setup. If this was for the pure title, I can understand you doing setup. The world or tag titles, if it's for a title, I can understand it, but a standard match, no. Next, Joe versus Castle. The boys are back. He's happy to have his boys back because one of them was injured and he couldn't have him by his side. But he's there. I'm going to tell you this, and let's make this clear. Samoa Joe won. He had to cheat a little bit due to Hathaway helping him because the boys got removed. And understand, the boys did not cheat. They didn't cheat. They were helping Castle, but then they didn't let Castle hit the floor. They didn't let Castle get hurt. So they were interfering, but they were being positive interfering. They even helped in Samoa Joe into the ring. But thanks to Hathaway, they got kicked out. And in the end, Joe did win. But let me make this clear. Castle's a very interesting character. I'm actually very confused. If you want to make AEW interesting, you need to bring in characters that are not all pure wrestling. If you want to get the most wide amount of people, you need someone that is unique. You got a guy who has two guys by his side who pretty much are, what would you call him? He's interesting. The boys are interesting. They got character as well. But you leave them on ROH. Instead of using them on Dynamite. Or better yet, put them on Collision. I'm just saying. I don't understand why they're still there. They should be on Collision. Maybe because I didn't see this Collision. Maybe they were there. I didn't see it. Last Collision, so I didn't see it. So maybe this Collision they'll be on it, but I doubt it. Let's move on to the Fatal 4-Way. We got... I'm going to tell you this. And it's obvious who won. It was Aussie Open. But they were the ones I wanted to win. The ones I thought that might win was either OGK or it would have been the Lucha Brothers retaining their titles. Because we had Lucha Brothers, OGK, Best Friends, and Aussie Open. But I wanted Aussie Open to win. But I thought that either the Lucha Brothers would retain or Best Friends might win it. I didn't think OGK would win. But there was a possibility, but I really didn't think they'd go there. Because they would have been, see it like this. You got these two, Lucha Brothers and Best Friends. Then you had OGK. And last was Aussie Open, who I did really want to win. I truly believe they should be there, particularly that one of them were out for injury. But match was very good. But Aussie Open won, which I'm happy to see. And the interview afterwards saying they want more titles. Maybe they'll go back to Impact Wrestling to try and get the Impact titles or New Japan Pro Strong. Or maybe they'll work with AEW directly and we'll get that. You never know. It wouldn't be bad. Now, the 6-man tag. This is the next one. I'm going right through these. I'm shooting them right through. Waka and Takakachi and Ruffin. Because I remember him. He worked with Chris Jericho. Super skinny guy. And then you got basically the Mogul affiliates destroying them. Now, mind you, it was not a bad match. You got 3 huge guys versus 3 smaller guys. Well, one super small guy in Roughage and Waka and Takahashi. I think that's his name. And they were kind of medium. The person who took the most bumps was Ruffin. He got his ass handed to him from one ring to another, to another, to another. He went to the ring in California. He went to the ring in Chicago. He went back to the ring in New Jersey. He jumped from ring to ring in every promotion because they threw him around like he was a rag doll. That is how bad it was. But I'm going to tell you this. It wasn't that bad. But I am going to say this. I'm hoping that's the end of that match. I mean, not match, but they're tagging together. Because Roughage doesn't really feel like he should be there. He should be in the pure division, not in the tag division, and not in the 6-man tag. He should be in a pure division. That's just me, guys, and below. Now, let's see. What am I forgetting here? Nothing. Moving on. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything because I don't want to forget anything. There's a lot that happened in this show. We also got another 6-man tag. We got another 6-man tag. Now I'm going through this now. The other 6-man tag was Dark Order versus the Righteous. Vincent, what's the guy's name? Dutch and Stu Grayson. He's no longer with Dark Order. I remember they were trying, because I haven't seen this in months, guys. Understand, I have not seen ROH in months. I've had no opportunity to watch it because of all that's been going on with AEW, Impact Wrestling, and WWE. I've had barely any time to watch anything else. I haven't seen NWA, and I've not seen MLW. I know many people say, one guy has asked me to do MLW, which, if they still got the same camera work, I'm just going to say no. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but sooner or later, I'll probably see one episode. I won't do a review of it, but if they still got the same lighting, camera, and audio as they did the last 4 times I've seen it, no matter how much anyone says they're doing great, I see it for what it is. If the camera work sucks, I'm not going to care. If the audio sucks, I'm not going to care. If the lighting sucks, I'm not going to care. It's not because of their style. It's because their production sucks. I'm just saying. But we get this match. It is a Death Before Dishonor match. Woo! This was one of the matches I liked a lot. They had Lego. They had thumbtacks. They had a ladder. You see the blood, and this is where they probably had to get permission from Tony to do it. But I'm going to tell you this. It was good. In the end, I forgot who won. Was it again? There was so much there, I forgot. Hang on a minute. Where is that match? Dark Order won. Dark Order did win. And I can tell you this. If they continue to feud, I would understand it. Because Stu against Evil Uno would be the ultimate if this hasn't happened yet. Because I don't know if they had a match yet. Remember, I haven't seen ROH in months. So I don't know if Evil Uno had finally gotten a match with Stu Grayson yet. I don't know. Maybe they did. And this is what happened as a result of it. So I don't know. But I would have loved to see, or would like to see, Evil Uno and Stu face one another. And they were so close. Now they hate each other. I'm just saying. Now, the last 2 matches. These were the best 2. One for the men, one for the women. Pac versus Claudio Castagnoli for the ROH title. This was the second best match of the night. The Death Before Dishonor was his 3rd best match of the night. This was the 2nd. It just was. You see how great Pac is. He's not just an ordinary spot guy. He just is not. Pac is a great wrestler that understands how to manipulate the crowd. I've said it for years. Pac is one of the best. And I don't understand why he's never worked at Impact. At least recently. Why he's never been in Impact. Because at this point, where he should have won the ROH Championship, he did not. Claudio had to get help from Wheeler Yuta. And this makes me think, why does he keep going back? Why? I'd rather see him leave ROH, leave AEW, and go to Impact. At this point, that's what I think would be interesting. Put him into the X Division. Hell, put him into the main title scene. He would be totally different from any guy. The only person that's on that roster that even comes close to physicality, the shape of his body, is Ace Austin. He's the only one physically near his own height that even comes close to how freaking jacked he looks. I would love to see that. But I'm telling you right now, it was a great match. Seeing that Claudio literally threw him like a lawn dart onto a damn table, that was interesting. It was a great match, but I do believe he should have won. I'm telling the truth. Last but not least, the best match of the night. 31-0, my girl, my baby, my Athena, the fallen goddess, versus the wholesome, beautiful, who you would want to marry. No better than Athena. You want to marry, but hopefully not get her mad because she whoop your ass. And the other one, you would be happy to marry, but you don't want her to whoop your ass, in a Willow Nightingale. And we get to see Willow's mom and dad. So she's mixed like me. That makes me feel no different. I mean, she was beautiful no matter what. If she's white and black, who cares? I'm black and Puerto Rican with possibly Native American and Chinese mixed in there. But it don't matter. She's still a gorgeous woman. She busted her ass. She won the Owen Hart Foundation tournament against Athena. Was before Ruby Soho. I didn't get a chance to see that match either. Guys, I haven't had a chance to see anything of ROH. Anything of Rampage. I've not had a chance to see Rampage. That's the other reason why I haven't done it. I haven't seen it. But this was the best match of the night. What you want to know how great Athena is. She put over Willow heavily. She whooped her ass and made her look like $1,000,000 freaking bucks. And that makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. I'm telling you right now. Willow looked great. And Athena, why is she not on the main roster? Why is she on ROH? Now, people would say, ROH is a main roster too. No. I'm sorry. ROH is an extension. It's an extension. It's not a real promotion. It's an extension. Until it's no longer bought by AEW and Tony Khan, it's an extension. It's another show, a brand. And honestly, I wish she would be working on Dynamite. She should already be on Dynamite. Or Collision for that matter. Put her on freaking Collision with CM Punk. But, and why didn't Impact Wrestling hire her? She did a Chris Van Vliet almost, year and a half to 2 years ago? Saying clearly she couldn't get hired by TNA Impact freaking Wrestling. What is wrong with you people? She's one of the best wrestlers there is, and you didn't hire her. You stupid idiots. She said it herself. She went to try out, and they didn't hire her. And she was still good even back, 6 years ago? She was good before she went to WWE? But this was the best match. This is the match I was waiting for. I wanted to see Athena was going to win, and she did. She kept it. She's 32-0. Now Willow, who's working on the main roster, it's all right. This doesn't hurt her. It actually gives her more credibility because this match was so damn good. They closed the damn show. It's the first time in history of AEW ROH that a women's match main evented. Period. So, Willow did great. Athena is phenomenal. And this is what you get. I have no idea if you're going to like this. I'm not putting in images. I'm just uploading it straight. And then I got to do Collision after this. Peace.